Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Plant, Water, Grow, God's Garden. I'm Pastor Dr. Jackie, and today I will be taking you through my process for preparing my strawberries. Hi, the first thing I did was I built a stand for my strawberry tower to rest on. I took a gardening stake, a green gardening stake, and I drove it through my Home Depot bucket. First, I drilled holes in the bucket and in the lid so that they would line up. I then hammered my gardening stake through the bucket, through the lid, and into the ground to be my stand for my tower. Next, I took an old container and I mixed some potting mix and some compost together, and this will be my soil which I am planting the strawberries in. And as you can see, I have some dollar store containers which I'm building my tower with. I have put a hole in the center of my first dollar store bucket and container, and what will happen, I will slide this through the stake through the hole that's in the center of my bucket. Here I have my strawberries that I purchased from Home Depot, and I will be first breaking them up before I begin to plant them in each of the containers of my tower. I am going to fill up the first level of my tower at this time with the potting soil mixture that I made with the potting mix, and so I'm filling this up. I have about 7 strawberry plants in this container that I'm going to divide up and put into my tower. So that should take me to about maybe 3 levels. Yes, I need about 3 levels. This is very moist because it's been raining here off and on. I'm going to try to just take all of the strawberries out at once. So that I can see. Okay, there we go. I'll save this for use with something else. And I'm going to go back and try to separate this again. There's plenty of roots. And I don't want to damage my plants. So I'm trying to do this gently. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So I was able to finally separate this. And this is, I'm a first time vegetable gardener. And I believe I'll gain experience as I work. Let me put my gloves back on. And let's see if I can finish separating this first one without damaging the roots system. Great, and I was able to do that. Now I'm going to plant it in this section. I have to take some of the dirt out. There. go. Tap it down a little bit so it can fit in. I'm going to place all of the strawberries in all 3 sections before I add any more potting mix. So let me go to the next one. Okay, so let me take some of the dirt from out of here so I have room for the roots. In. Let's see, I may have to move a little bit more. Fit that in there. Okay, press that down some. I don't want to cover up my bulbs, the tops of my strawberries. Don't want to go any higher than what they have already been. Two plants here. This one is a little bit smaller. Gotta be sure not to damage the roots. Praise the Lord. Now I'm gonna get this in. Trying to get it so it'll be more towards this way, leaning this way. Matter of fact, I want all of them to sort of lean towards this side. So this one's done. Now I'm just going to add some soil around it. I'm not going above where the dirt already is because I don't want to cover up where the stems go into the root portion. So I'm just going around it mainly just to give it some stability. Cover it up. That's covered up a little bit too much. Let me go around. Should not cover the crown. Trying to keep the crown from being covered. Okay, there we go. Tilting it this way some. Keeping the crown from being covered. And now the last one in this container of the tower. I'm trying not to pack the center down too much because my stick that I will be growing is get a little dirt on this side. It's going to be leaning. I'm trying to keep from covering the crown. The crown is where the branches and the roots meet. think that one's pretty good. This is in here pretty good without covering my crown. All right. Now, I'm going to see if I can get this one on. I know a lot of times people fill up all their trays first, but I want to see if I can get this one on my stackable. I was able to place the first stackable container on my stand, and now I will begin to work on the second and the third one. I will do the next two and then finish stacking them. I'm going to plant my next two containers, and because I only have 4 strawberry plants left, I'm going to put 2 per container. Now, these were all supposed to be organically grown, so I'm praying that that is exactly what happened, that they have been organically grown. Let me take this one and put a little bit here in the center where my stick is going to be coming up, just so that the edge is here. And shake this off just a little bit. Do not want this covered. They say that strawberries are very hardy and sturdy, so you shouldn't have to worry. Now, I have 2 of my plants, 3 in this container, the bottom level. Now, I am going to put on, and I'm rotating this so that these 2 will be facing the sun. And moving it down. And I'm also being careful of my strawberries that are there we go. And that locked, fell in place. Very good. Now I'm putting on the next level, and I think I'm gonna put these towards the back. And locking them in place. All right. All done. Okay, let's see. And see, one good thing about it resting on this makeshift table, I can rotate this, spin it around, so that during the morning, one group can get the sun, and then the next day I can rotate it again, and just to be sure that all of the plants are receiving enough sunlight. And now I'm going to put my little black cap that I made out of a small piece of rubber I'm gonna put that on the top just so that, there we go. I can use this to put a veil to cover these if I see animals trying to get to them. So there you go. My first tower, strawberry tower.